you also seem to admire figures that most people don't even know these days. And I want to say just two. One is Margaret Thatcher, and another one is Ronald Reagan. Now,
Yeah.
I know them enough well, but there is a generation gap between us. And I wouldn't say that people in your generation are very much into them, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm happy to be amended here. But how did you get into them, and what did you learn from following those two and other that you might want to share?
Well, Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan embodied the best of the 80s, the roaring 80s, an age in which freedom was in the rise worldwide. Individual liberty was promoted by these two influential figures of the conservative field, which helped managing a very difficult situation when many people thought that the Western civilization was decaying. They demonstrated many analysts were wrong and also helped to make the West stronger than ever, richer than ever thanks to free markets and free trade, and constructed a very important political platform that unites both the traditionalists' values and also libertarian principles, the principle I love the most. This very special union between tradition and innovation, between the heritage of the past and the stimulus of the future, made a great combo that is still influential today. I'd like to answer you by telling that, yeah, many people are not aware of the importance of these two historical figures, but many young people from my generation are awaking and are realizing that Thatcherite political belief and also the Reaganite political beliefs are great and can be the right way to interact with other different cultures. And they know that they symbolized the best of the right wing. There are several currents of thoughts in the so-called conservative world. I don't like right-wing populism, for instance. I believe that we must solve problems coherently and not making claims. Margaret Thatcher, Ronald Reagan were deep connoisseurs of economics. They managed to restore law and order. That's another important aspect. And they built a sense of society that was transmitted even in the next generation. The left-wing movements were ashamed and thought, how can we win elections without knowing the message of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan? So in the 90s, we saw the uprising of many political figures from the left that tried to assimilate some aspects of the laissez-faire capitalism platform. For example, Tony Blair in the United Kingdom, he was a social democrat, but he was also associated to a different way of doing politics by embracing free markets in order to achieve social equality in his own perspective. Bill Clinton in the United States contributed to fuel and foster economic competitiveness by reclaiming the Reaganite agenda, the so-called Reaganomics. So we are experiencing a revival of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan. In my opinion, every right-wing movement that declared to be this way must be inspired by these important figures. We must not neglect the importance of the President of the United States, the 40th President, and the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. They were so influential and extremely important.